And thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. It is a big week for the Trump campaign. The presumptive Republican candidate is expected to choose his vice president Friday at an event in New York. And recent polls show he's closing the gap with Democratic rival Hillary Clinton in several swing states. Caitlin Burke has more.
Donald Trump is in the final day of his search for a running mate.
I'm narrowing it down. I mean, I'm at 3, potentially 4. But in my own mind, I probably am thinking about 2.
Indiana Governor Mike Pence is expected to be one of the men at the top of Trump's potential VP list. Trump and his family paying a visit to the governor's mansion Wednesday.
It was just very warm and just one family meeting with another.
But Trump's not giving anything away, ramping up suspense for his big reveal on Friday.
You'll be calling up Mike Pence. I don't know whether he's going to be your governor or your vice president. Who the hell knows?
Also on the list of VP hopefuls, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and former House Speaker Newt Gingrich, who sources say flew to Indiana Wednesday to meet with Trump.
I'm not saying it's Newt, but if it's Newt, nobody's going to be beating him in those debates. That's for sure, right? Nobody.
New polls show Trump is closing the gap with Hillary Clinton in key swing states, and his choice of a running mate could affect those numbers even more. An NBC Wall Street Journal Marist poll showed Clinton with a 3-point lead in Iowa, ahead of Trump 42% to 39%. In Pennsylvania, the NBC poll found Clinton holding a larger 9-point lead. But a different poll, released earlier on Wednesday from Quinnipiac University, showed Trump with a 2-point lead. Quinnipiac also had Trump up by 3 points in Florida, a significant change from its poll of a month ago that represented a double-digit surge for the Republican. Both polls have the two tied in Ohio. Many believe the state is a must-win for Trump since no Republican candidate has ever won the White House without first winning the Buckeye State. Clinton's loss of momentum clearly tied to her email scandal, with an ABC Washington Post poll showing 56% of Americans disapprove of the FBI's recommendation not to bring charges. Caitlin Burke, CBN News.
Atheism will be advertised at the upcoming Republican National Convention, but a popular Christian film will not be. An advertising company for the RNC refused to approve a billboard for the film God's Not Dead 2. Orange Barrel Media called the 60-foot billboard too political and way too incendiary. The billboard would have featured actress Melissa Joan Hart and a quote from the movie. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Orange Barrel Media told Pure Flix that even the title of the film was problematic. That made room for the Freedom from Religion Foundation's billboard, I'm an atheist and I vote. Campaign 2016 pro-life Democrats are crying foul on its party's newly approved platform stance on abortion. The issue was brought up at a meeting Wednesday in Washington, D.C., held by the Susan B. Anthony list. The Democratic platform, it calls for the repeal of the Hyde Amendment, long-standing bipartisan legislation that ensures taxpayer dollars are not spent on abortion. Hillary Clinton supports its repeal. The Susan B. Anthony list is challenging pro-life Senate Democrats to oppose that stance.
Is tax-funded abortion on demand now the litmus test for the New Democrats? Or will this insistence upon taxpayer-funded abortion up until birth divide them, lose votes for them, and provide a catalyst for realignment along the lines of the Reagan Democrat movement? I believe it's the latter.
Close to 30% of Democrats call themselves pro-life. At the meeting, the Susan B. Anthony list praised the Republican Party and Donald Trump for his pro-life stance and willingness to take correction and adapt on the issue. House passed a bill protecting companies from paying for abortions. The Conscience Protection Act was designed to stop the order from California that required insurance companies to pay for abortions. However, the bill does not have much of a chance of becoming law under the Obama administration. House Speaker Paul Ryan says it pushes people of faith on the sidelines of society. Republicans say the order from the Obama administration discriminates against companies and employees who don't support abortion. LGBT history lessons are creeping closer to California classrooms. California education officials are moving to pass a law Thursday requiring public schools to teach LGBT history. The curriculum is aimed at students in 5th grade and 8th grade and throughout high school. They would discuss changing gender identity in the 18th and 19th century, and even celebrate prominent gay people. The bill also prohibits any classroom materials that may reflect adversely on gays. VidAngel, a service that provides users with movies filtered for explicit content, is suing Disney and other major studios. That's because VidAngel claims these studios are trying to sabotage their business by forcing the company to get permission to even offer a filtering service. But according to congressional law, VidAngel does not need consent. An attorney for VidAngel commented saying, quote, "We hope that the filing will help these studios to realize that they are asking the court to shut down a service that will allow millions to filter content for themselves and their children." I want to turn now to Venezuela, a nation that should be one of the wealthiest in the world is today filled with starving people. The country is a testament to the damage socialism can do. Dale Hurd is on this story.
There are lines, and then there are lines in Venezuela. Its economy in ruins. The average Venezuelan shopper now spends almost 10 hours a week just waiting to buy food.
From 4 o'clock in the morning, I've been standing here in line. I have number 900. 900! This is my ID card. I'm Venezuelan. There is no food. There is nothing.
This is a nation on the verge of total societal collapse. Food riots are increasing. More people are murdered in Caracas than in any city outside of a declared war zone. And with food trucks being hijacked and stores looted, President Nicolas Maduro has now put the army in charge of the food supply chain. Many Venezuelans are slowly starving. Kelly Vegas has lost 30 pounds, making sure her daughter eats before she does.
Right now, we eat only 2 meals a day. If we eat breakfast, we don't have lunch. If we have lunch, there is no dinner.
Across the country, kitchen cupboards are empty. And with inflation expected to hit 720% this year, it doesn't pay for low-wage employees to even show up for work. Until a few days ago, the government was forced to implement rolling 4-hour blackouts to save power and a 2-day work week for government employees. This in a nation with the world's largest proven oil reserves. But years of mismanagement under a socialist government have brought a significant chunk of the nation's energy sector to a halt. When oil prices were high, former President Hugo Chavez threw around huge sums of cash to fund a socialist movement across Latin America. When his successor was forced to throw open the border with Colombia this week so that desperate Venezuelans could search for food, you would have thought it was the fall of the Iron Curtain. Javier Gutierrez said, "I came here to buy rice, sugar, milk, medicine, and whatever else we can get, because we already don't have anything to eat. We're starving." This week, U.S. company Kimberly-Clark finally had enough of the economic chaos and closed its factory in Caracas. Citibank has also closed the account the Venezuelan government used to make international payments. President Maduro is calling it a U.S. plot against him. It's unclear whether Maduro is on borrowed time. Most Venezuelans want him out. A referendum campaign against him has huge momentum, but Maduro still controls most of the levers of power. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Coming up, as we told you, he is said to be one of Donald Trump's top picks for vice president. We're going to hear from Indiana Governor Mike Pence about his faith in Christ and how it guides his life. The story is coming up next. Indiana Governor Mike Pence is being mentioned as a top potential running mate for Donald Trump. He's been capturing the attention of conservatives for years as he fought to make his state business friendly and battle Washington over Medicaid and Obamacare. As an evangelical Christian, he could also be just what Trump needs to win key votes. CBN's David Brody spoke with Mike Pence long before his vice presidential talk was heating up.
When you meet Mike Pence, he's all-American heartland, from a cornfield to Congress and now governor.
I don't ever remember even imagining that this grandson of an Irish immigrant would ever have the chance to lead my state as governor.
And he's making the most of the opportunity with one of the top economies in the nation.
Indiana is open for tech business once again. We are grateful for your leadership and your vision.
The numbers show a conservative blueprint for success. 7 straight months of job growth with unemployment under 6%, leading the nation in new manufacturing jobs, plus throw in tax cuts and a budget surplus for good measure.
There's no rocket science to it. We're just putting into practice those common sense principles of living within our means, letting people keep more of what they earn.
The Republican Party is taking notice. Some GOP bigwigs are courting Pence, and the governor is listening. They see him as an ideal candidate. Pro-life Christian, strong on social issues, a hawk on defense, and economically conservative. He's also keenly aware that the best solutions need to come from outside the Beltway.
And I'm absolutely convinced that the cure for what ails this country is going to come more from our nation's state capitals than it ever will from our nation's capital. There are just things that states will always be able to do better.
And Pence has his hands full proving that. One challenge is Obamacare.
I think Obamacare needs to be repealed lock, stock, and barrel.
Pence says he won't take available federal money to expand Medicaid here unless it's done the Indiana way.
If we could, in effect, end traditional Medicaid in Indiana for virtually all of our citizens and replace it with the kind of consumer-driven health care enshrined in the Healthy Indiana plan.
Some conservatives criticize Pence for even considering to take the federal money. The Federalist website says, quote, "There is really nothing all that conservative about the state-specific plans to capture federal dollars earmarked for Medicaid expansion." The Healthy Indiana plan is popular with Hoosiers, though, because it sets up personal health savings accounts. Pence touts it as a national model.
In a word, Indiana has proven in the last 6 years that consumer-driven health care works.
The other big issue, education and Common Core. Pence picked up praise for making Indiana the first state to opt out of the controversial national curriculum, but critics complain that his new standards look a lot like Common Core. Influential conservative Michelle Malkin says Pence's attempts to mollify critics by rebranding and repackaging shoddy Common Core standards is fooling no one.
Whatever differences people might have on the standards that we've produced, there's no doubt these were written by Hoosiers for Hoosiers. And the debate now ultimately is happening here in the state of Indiana where it belongs.
One item not up for debate, his faith.
Just about each and every day, I like to start out my day with a little bit of time in the book, a little bit of time in prayer. And that's become even more important to me as I've shouldered the responsibilities of this office.
Pence gave his life to Jesus as a college freshman, and now as governor, he's mindful of Solomon's prayer in 1 Kings 3, where it says, "Give your servant, therefore, an understanding mind to govern your people, that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to govern this your great people?"
It's a prayer I pray often, that for a discerning heart to distinguish between right and wrong. For as he asked, who is able to govern this great people of yours?
And in Indiana, it's Governor Pence for such a time as this. David Brody, CBN News, in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Up next, new hope for China, why the next generation is showing signs of turning to Christ. Some disturbing news from Russia. President Vladimir Putin signed a law outlawing evangelism and cracking down on house churches. The laws forbid evangelism outside of churches and other religious sites. That means people can't even share their faith in their homes or even on the internet. They also restrict missionary work. For example, there can be no preaching, teaching, or any activity aimed at bringing people into a religious group. New signs, China's next generation is turning to Christianity. Many millennials are looking for answers to life's big questions, and they're doing it in church. And Christian leaders are hopeful the younger generation could bring their nation closer to God. Meng Fai Li brings us the story.
China is getting younger and younger. Today, large cities like Shanghai are filled with millennials. 24 million people live in Shanghai, and 3/4 are between the ages of 20 and 33. Younger Chinese are moving to Shanghai for several reasons.
I moved to Shanghai a few years ago. My friends kept telling me I could find better jobs here. I want to earn more money for my family.
Besides looking for jobs, millennials have also joined the Christian community. To cope with societal pressure, young people are increasingly turning to support groups and spirituality. One study found that 62% of China's religious believers are between the ages of 19 and 39.
One day, my friend invited me to church after work. It was new to me. As I listened to the music, all of a sudden, I felt so peaceful. I felt something special.
Christian leaders in Shanghai realize young people are attending churches because they long for places where they can take a break and express themselves openly.
Living in the big city is not easy for them. Many of the young people share with me that they face burden all the time. Some of them just cried to me and asked me to help them.
Church leaders use biblical truths to help millennials cope with life. They share their own experiences and tell them about God's grace.
For the single people, I understand their concerns. I read the story of Ruth and explained the meaning to them. I wanted to make sure they understood that I had the same struggle before, but God is faithful.
With the leaders' help, some young Chinese attend church services faithfully. They learn to pray for themselves and their family, and they no longer feel empty inside.
Now I am a Christian. I'm not afraid of anything. Jesus is always with me. I'm not alone when I face difficulties.
Today, with the huge millennial population, Shanghai still remains as one of the important cities in China. Local Christian leaders are looking for opportunities to bring the younger generation to church. Mainly, they believe younger generation might be the only solution to bring this city closer to God.
We want to use all the resources to build the bridge between young people and our Savior. They could do some amazing work for Jesus.
Mengfei Li for CBN News, Shanghai, China.
This year's Republican National Convention is being held in Cleveland, Ohio. The RNC picked the Forest City, as it's called, over a host of other places, including Dallas and Las Vegas. CBN News producer Amber Strong traveled there to see just what is so special about Cleveland.
Amber C. Strong of CBN News and the Brody File here in Cleveland in front of beautiful Lake Erie ahead of this year's Republican National Convention, bringing you 1, 2, 3 reasons why Cleveland rocks.
Cleveland rocks! Cleveland rocks!
Cleveland rocks, but you knew that already. Here at the Brody File, we like to think outside the box and talk about Cleveland relics other than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the city's love relationship with LeBron. But before we start, we wanted to ask the RNC, why Cleveland?
When I moved to Cleveland a few months ago, I didn't know what to expect, and I must say I have been blown away by the people, by the food scene, by the restaurants, by the local businesses, by the architecture. I think this city has so much to offer, and I think that this is going to be really an incredible moment for this city.
But like any good journalist, we had to find out for ourselves, so we went digging and brought you 1, 2, 3 things you probably didn't know about Cleveland. Number 1, Cleveland has some strong political roots. It was once the home of our 20th president, James A. Garfield. Garfield was actually born in Moreland Hills, a suburb of Cleveland. In 1885, 4 years after his assassination, they began work on the memorial, which includes this 180-foot-tall statue of Garfield. The entire exhibit contains stained glass windows and pays homage to Romanesque, Gothic, and Byzantine architecture. Garfield was actually one of 8 U.S. presidents hailing from Ohio. The number 2 reason why Cleveland rocks, the food. I mean, come on, it's the Brody File. We had to talk about the food, right? And what better place to indulge in the city's cornucopia of foodie delights than the historical West Side Market? The origin of the city's open-air market dates back to 1840 and is still going strong today. With more than 100 vendors, visitors can indulge on everything from Mediterranean cuisine to fresh fish and seafood. And finally, reason number 3 Cleveland rocks, The House from A Christmas Story. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. The movie dedicated to embarrassing pajamas and the Red Ryder BB gun was actually filmed right here in Cleveland. There's even a museum dedicated to the movie right across the street. As a Hoosier, I am a bit saddened that a movie that was supposed to take place in Indiana was actually shot in Cleveland and Canada, but I digress. A Christmas Story house is a nostalgic attraction where you can even take home a leg lamp or 2. Just don't lick any light poles. So there you have it. 1, 2, 3 reasons why Cleveland rocks. If you want to keep up with all of the latest events happening right here at the Republican National Convention, keep up with CBN News on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest news and fun stuff like this happening all next week. I'm Amber C. Strong for the Brody File and CBN News.
Well, it is time now for your Thursday Thankful, and before we say goodbye, I hope you will join me in this prayer of gratitude. God, I thank you that by one blood you made all men. Help us to all fully realize our connection to each other in you. This is the time for us all to recognize that connection, and in seeing that connection, we must feel and have compassion for the pain and needs of others, and not only feel it, but do something to help ease the burden. And that is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Thanks for watching.